Hello, everyone. So, today I'm getting ready to talk to you and teach you all about Acts chapter 27, 1 through 1 through 44, and chapter 28, 1 through 31. I'm going to start it off by saying, let the Most High words be true and every man a liar. And when it was decided that we should sail to Italy, they delivered Paul and some other prisoners to one named Julius, a centurion of the Augustan regiment. So, entering a ship of Adramitium, we put to sea, meaning to sail along the coast of Asia. Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, was with us. And the next day we landed at Sidon, and Julius treated Paul kindly and gave him liberty to go to his friends and receive care. When we had put to sea from there, we sailed under the shelter of Cyprus, because the winds were contrary. And when we had sailed over the sea, which is off Sicily and Pamphylia, we came to Myra, a city of Lycia. There the centurion found an Alexandrian ship sailing to Italy, and he put us on board. When we had sailed slowly many days and arrived with difficulty off Sinadis. I hope I pronounced that right, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. The wind not permitting us to proceed, we sailed under the shelter of Crete off of Salmon. The Most High must be making fun of me today. He giving me all kinds of big words, names to try to pronounce. Not words, but names to try to pronounce. Big names. Passing it with difficulty, we came to a place called Fair Havens, near the city of Lycia. Now when much time had been spent, and sailing was now dangerous, because the fast was already over, Paul advised them, saying, Men, I perceive that this voyage will end with disaster and much loss, not only of the cargo and ship, but also our lives. Nevertheless, the centurion was more persuaded by the helmsman and the owner of the ship than by the things spoken by Paul. Wow. They better listen to Paul, and this is why. And because of the harbor was not suitable to winter in, the majority advised to set sail from there also, if by any means they could reach Phoenix, a harbor of Crete opening toward the southwest and northwest, and winter there. When the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their desire, putting out to sea, they sailed close by Crete. But not long after, a tremendously head wind arose, called Eurosidon. So when the ship was caught and could not head into the wind, we let her drive and running under the shelter of an island called Claudia. We secured the skiff with difficulty. When they had taken it on board, they used cables to undergird the ship, and fearing least they should run aground on the Syrtis sands. They struck sail and so were driven. And because we were exceedingly tossed, the next day they lightened the ship. They lightened the ship, meaning they took stuff out to make it lighter. On the third day, we threw the ship's tackle overboard with our own hands. Now when neither sun nor stars appeared for many days, and no small tempest beat on us, all hope that we would be saved was finally given up. But after long abstinence from food, then Paul stood in the midst of them and said, Men, you should have listened to me, and not have sailed from Crete, and incurred this disaster and loss. And now I urge you to take heart, for there would be no loss of life among you, but only of the ship. So now he's foretelling them that the ship is going down. We still gonna all be alive, but the ship is going down. Whether you wanted to be ready for it or not, he letting you know the ship is going down. For there stood by me this night an angel of Elohim, to whom I belong and whom I serve, saying, Do not be afraid, Paul. I wonder, can they see the angel? You must be brought before Caesar, and indeed Elohim has granted you all those who sail with you. Therefore take heart, men, for I believe Elohim that it will be just as it was told me. However, we must run aground on a certain island. See, I told you, when the Most High talk to you, you have to listen. Only thing, you're gonna have a problem trying to tell somebody else. So, but you still listen. But when I try to warn others, they don't believe me either. And then when whatever I said come to pass, then they realize, hey, they should have listened, but it's too late by then. Now when the 14th night had come, as we were driven up and down in the Adriatic Sea, about midnight, the sailors sensed that they were drawing near some land, and they took surroundings and found it to be 20 fathoms. And when they had gone a little further, they took soundings again and found it to be 15 fathoms. Then, fearing lest we should run aground on the rocks, they dropped 4 anchors from the stern and prayed for day to come. I hope all of them prayed. And all the sailors were seeking to escape from the ship when they had let down the ship into the sea on the pretense of putting out anchors from the prow. Paul said to the centurion and the soldiers, Unless these men stay in the ship, you cannot be saved. Oh, good luck at trying to get them to believe that. Let's see if they listen. Then the soldiers cut away the ropes of the skiff and let it fall off. They did indeed listen. Thanks to Most High, they listened. And as day was about to dawn, Paul implored them all to take food, saying, Today is the 14th day you have waited and continue without food and eaten nothing. Therefore I urge you to take nourishment, for this is for your survival, since not a hair will fall from the head of any of you. And when he had said these things, he took bread and gave thanks to Elohim in the presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. Then they were all encouraged and also took food themselves. And see, that reminded me when, you know, I used to tell the Most High a long time ago. I used to tell him, I said, Most High, and even here I started telling him, I even told him here, I said, Most High, they making me out to be a liar and covering everything up. They don't want no one to know that I'm telling the truth. And then also my husband at this place, now he may have done it at the other place too. He wouldn't tell nobody all the things that was going on. So no one believed me, not one soul. And I said, the Most High, I said, I hope you don't tell me anything to tell your people, because they're not going to believe me. These wicked people made me look like a liar, and no one would believe me, and they going around saying I'm crazy, and then when I'm telling the truth, but no one would believe. So I said, Most High, please don't tell me nothing to tell these people, because they're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. They're going to assume that, yeah, they telling the truth. And so that's why I say I'm glad they listen to him, because I got a feeling they're not going to listen to me. It may cost them their life, but they're not going to listen. But hey, I pray that the Most High don't use me in that way, because people are not going to listen. But they don't see how passionate I am with the Most High and the love I have for the Most High. They don't care. They don't want you to see it. The wicked people out on this world don't want you to see that part. They don't want you to know about that part. They don't even want you to know about the good that I do. They keep that hidden. Even the people that I do it for, they keep it hidden. They don't want nobody to know the good I've done. And that's fine, because I don't, he said not to brag anyway, so I don't care. I'm not going to tell you everything that I done nice, because he said not to brag and not to boast, and I'm not doing it. I just only told you a little bit so you can get some sense of what type of person I am. But the wicked people and all these secret society, they here to tell you don't listen to me. And because the Most High, everyone is saying that they for the devil and they work for the devil. I don't know. I just know what they told me, and I saw the things, and I saw the people that had certain secret society ring and stuff on their cars, and with what they was telling me on those videos, it connected, and I knew that had something in common. I said, all the people are part of this group. I'm not going to tell you who the group is, but all those people were a part of that group, and I had already suspected that wherever I go, that group is going to call and tell those people there to start messing with me there, and I knew it. And they did everywhere I moved within this last 3 moves. And so that's why I just said, I hope you don't tell me anything, because they're not going to believe, and they're trying to make me look like a liar, which is fine, because if they don't believe me when you tell me, that's their loss, because they should have had a chance to learn me when I'm out and about. They could have asked me questions, they could have said hi, they could have got to know me, so that way they'll know that, hey, nothing is wrong with this lady. She just stays to herself because she likes studying the Bible, and she don't like mess starting. And all I end up with is messy people. And I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to deal with family only. Guess what? Family can be messy people also. And I learned that quickly. And that's when I had to say, you know what? It's time for me to get family out my life also. Just my immediate family, like my son, my daughter, that those about the only people that I don't mind coming in my house, and my brother and his grandkids. But I just don't like a lot of people in my house, because the people are messy, and I don't like messy people. I don't like dealing with them. But if you're a good soul like me, I love dealing with you. I love to deal with you. I mean, I'll give you open up arms, but I still gotta love these messy people. Now, don't get me wrong. I still gotta talk to them outside my house, and I still gotta deal with them. So don't be shocked because I'm doing what the Most High told me to do. But I don't have to hang out with them all day. That I don't have to do. Okay, back to the story. Therefore, I urge you to take nourishment, for this is for your survival, since not a hair will fall from the head of any of you. I read it again so I can find out where I was at. And when he had said these things, he took bread and gave thanks to Elohim in the presence of them all. And when he had broken it, he began to eat. Then they were all encouraged and also took food themselves. And in all, we were 276 persons on the ship. That's a lot of people on the ship. So, excuse me, I hope that was a very, very big ship, because there was a lot of people on there. I could see them bumping elbows and everything if it was a teeny boat, but I'm pretty sure it was a middle size or a very big boat. So when they had eaten enough, they lightened the ship and threw out the wheat into the sea. When it was day, they did not recognize the land, but they observed a bay with a beach, onto which they planned to run the ship if possible. And they let go the anchors and left them in the sea. Meanwhile, losing the rudder ropes, and they hoisted the mainsail to the wind and made for shore. But striking a place where two seas meet, they ran the ship aground, and the prow stuck fast and remained immovable. But the stern was being broken up by the violence of the waves, and the soldiers' plan was to kill the prisoner, lest any of them should swim away and escape. They always thinking ahead, but the centurion wanted to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, and commanded that those who could swim should jump overboard first and get to land, and the rest, some on boards and some on parts of the ship. And so it was that they all escaped safely to the land. So that was good that the centurions were there to protect Paul, and they was thinking about his safety. So I think the Most High touched their hearts. Now, chapter 28. Now when they had escaped, they then found out that the island was called Malta, and the natives showed us unusual kindness. Ooh, that's special kindness there. For they kindled a fire and made us all welcome because of the rain that was falling and because of the cold. But when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks and laid them on the fire, a viper came out because of the heat and fastened it on his hand. So when the natives saw the creature hanging from his hand, they said to one another, "No doubt this man is a murderer, whom, though he has escaped the sea, yet justice does not allow to live." So they thinking he a bad person just because he got bit. So the Most High finna get ready to show them that he did nothing wrong. Yet justice does not allow to live. But he shook off the creature into the fire and suffered no harm. Now you see the power that the Most High can do from way up there. If you just have faith and believe, he can do these things. He can heal you. He can heal you through the doctor. You just have to have faith, mustard seed of faith, which is tiny, weeny faith in him, and he can heal you. He can help you out of everything you're going through. Homeless, keep faith in him. Keep praying to him. Lord, I don't know what it is that you want me to learn from this, but help me go through this, and he will. Because I kept asking, Lord, I don't know when when you're going to reveal that I'm telling the truth. And I took it out of my mind for years and years, and then I asked him another couple of years, when you going to reveal the truth and let people see I'm not lying? And he, I said, well, it's on your time, though. I already know it's on your time. And then here it is, I want to say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 years later, from Valdosta to Sherwood, Arkansas to South Haven. 10 years later, it took him to reveal the truth for people to realize that now I've been telling the truth. And all the stuff that I saw people do, you all will be amazed. If you don't put cameras around your house, you probably won't even catch it. They'll probably mess with your camera, and then if your neighbor got a camera and your neighbor is cool with you, he can probably tell you. Because two of my neighbors said, just let me know. And then as soon as I let them know what day and what time, they didn't help me. So they were afraid of somebody. They wouldn't help me. So whoever it was, they was afraid. And I even put out $500 if you can just take a picture of them going in the garage. And people were hurting for money then. But no one, 5 years since I've been here, 10 years since I've been here, no one came and collected $500. And so now I went down to $250. I said, if anybody can give me a picture of someone going in the garage, that's all I need. Them coming out the garage or going in. I need a face, and then that way you can make a quick $250. So, and I think whoever it is, they so scared and afraid of that person that they won't say anything. So the person must be a devil, the devil himself, because they have fear of that person. And we're not supposed to, Christian and saints not supposed to be fearful of the devil people. We supposed to have them scared of us, because we're going to bring what they doing in the dark to the light. And that's what I did. I brought everything they done, some of the ones that I caught, I brought it to the light. I mean, they hate me, yeah. They hate me, and they're going to get me again for it, but I don't care. I brought your darkness to light, and I'm going to bring it again every time I catch you. I'm going to bring it to light. So, come after me all you want. I'm going to bring your darkness to light. And if I see you doing darkness to somebody else, I'm going to go and tell them what you're doing or what you've done. But back to the story. But he shook off the creature into the fire and suffered no harm. However, they were expecting that he would swell up or suddenly fall down dead. But after they had looked for a long time and saw no harm come to him, they changed their minds and said that he was a little g God. Now he went from being a bad person to a little g God. No. Our Most High help us. So that's why I said they kept doing stuff to my food. I kept falling sick, and I said, who knows what else they did to my food? What else they done? But now knowing that the Most High, if they tried to poison me, the Most High was there to see me through it. And I can just imagine it now. I said, I don't know all the things that these people done. The ones I know that's a part of my that was a part of my family, my in-laws that was a part of my family, and I don't know what the outside devils did. So I don't know. And I don't know what people, I just know I kept falling sick. But thank God that I was serving a mighty God, and he was helping me as I kept praying. I said, Lord, I'm going to keep trusting in you. And that's what I did. And there was years go by, and I felt bad because everybody did think I was crazy, and I could see their eyes go blank like, okay, here she is talking crazy again. And I saw it, but I didn't care. I said, one of these days, when he's on his time, not my time, he'll reveal it to you all. And he did. And that's why I say, if something happened to you saints and Christian people, get with me, and I can tell you what they done to me, and then we can put our heads together and know that, okay, this had happened to me. This had happened to me too. Dad, I remember something like that happened to me. And then that way we'll know that your family will know you're not crazy, and then they'll know. Trust me, they'll know. They can pretend not to know, but they'll know. The evil people, they're going to be on the evil person's side and they're going to pretend not to know, but that's okay. In that region, there was an estate of the leading citizen of the island, whose name was Publius, who received us and entertained us courteously for 3 days. And it happened that the father of Publius lay sick of a fever. In dysentery, Paul went in to him and prayed, and he laid his hands on him and healed him. So when this was done, the rest of those on the island who had diseases also came and were healed. They also honored us in many ways. And when we departed, they provided such things as were necessary. After 3 months, we sailed in an Alexandria ship, whose figurehead was the twin brothers, which had wintered at the island, and landing at Syracuse. We stayed 3 days. From there we circled round and reached Regimum, and after 1 day the south wind blew, and the next day we came to Patilia, where we found brethren and were invited to stay with them 7 days, and so went toward Rome. So we went toward Rome, And from there, when the brethren heard about us, they came to meet us as far as Appii, Forum, and 3 Inns. When Paul saw them, he thanked Elohim and took courage. Now, when we came to Rome, the centurion delivered the prisoners to the captain of the guard. But Paul was permitted to dwell by himself with the soldier who guarded him. And it came to pass after 3 days that Paul called the leaders of the Jews together. So when they had come together, he said to them, Men and brethren, though I have done nothing against our people or the custom of our fathers, yet I was delivered as a prisoner from Jerusalem into the hands of the Romans, who, when they had examined me, wanted to let me go, because there was no cause for putting me to death. But when the Jews spoke against it, I was compelled to appeal to Caesar. Not that I had anything of which to accuse my nation. For this reason, therefore, I have called for you to see you and speak with you, because for the hope of Israel I am bound with this chain. Then they said to him, We neither received letters from Judea concerning you, nor have any of the brethren who came reported or spoken of any evil of you. But we desire to hear from you what you think, for concerning this sect, we know that it is spoken against everywhere. So when they had appointed him a day, many came to him at his lodging, to whom he explained and solemnly testified of the kingdom of Elohim, persuading them concerning our Messiah from both the law of Moses and the prophets, from morning till evening. And some were persuaded by the things which were spoken, and some disbelieved. So when they did not agree among themselves, they departed after Paul had said one word. The Holy Spirit spoke rightly through through Isaiah the prophet to our fathers, saying, Go to this people and say, Hearing you will hear and shall not understand, and seeing you will see and not perceive. So I'm thinking he's talking about the people and referring to the people. For the hearts of this people have grown dull, their ears are hard of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, lest they should understand with their hearts and turn, so that I should heal them. See, our Most High wants to heal us, even now. Therefore, let it be known to you that the salvation of Elohim has been sent to the Gentiles, and they will hear it. And he said it in the exclamation point, and they will hear it. And when he had said these words, the Jews departed and had a great dispute among themselves. Then Paul dwelt 2 whole years in his own rented house, and received all who came to him, preaching the kingdom of Elohim and teaching the things which concern Yahuwah, not Yahuwah, I'm sorry, the Lord, our Messiah HaMashiach, with all confidence, no one forbidding him. So there you have it. The end. Praise the Lord. Have a good night.